This is powered by LangChain. So is this. Even this, behind the scenes, uses LangChain. Now, if it's not apparent yet, soon you're going to see that LangChain is the framework behind most popular AI-driven web apps. And in this video, we're going to look at the most important component of LangChain, the prompt interface. Now, prompts are the key because they are at the heart of the interaction. And hopefully, by the end of this video, your output from LangChain is going to go from this to this. Now, to start things off, it's important for you to understand what LangChain is. LangChain is a modular framework that sits between your data, your information, whatever your knowledge is, and the large language model, allowing you to script and automate interaction with the large language model. Much of the power comes from the ability to program and automate interaction with the large language model. LangChain is an open source project that is still in very active development. Many components of LangChain continue to change and develop on a very regular basis. The code is available on GitHub, and you can find this link in the video description. Alright, first things first, you want to install LangChain. We're not going to go through installation here. Just jump on the GitHub documentation, and you can walk through their instructions. It's going to vary depending on your hardware, so that's why we're not doing it here, as there's too many variables involved. What we are going to do is really focus in on the prompts, which is going to enable you to get the best results from LangChain and really get a feel for what it can do. Alright, so let's start off with one-shot prompts. And the best format for a one-shot prompt looks like this. What this method does is it adds a system message right before your main query to ChatGPT. Now, what is a system message, you might ask? A system message gives ChatGPT context and instructions on how it should act and respond. For example, you can say things like, you are an AI assistant that responds only in JSON format. Or maybe you could say, you are a nutrition coach that only gives safe diet advice. Or maybe you're just having some fun and you say, you are a pirate. You speak a fantasy language called piratos. In all three examples, we're just telling ChatGPT how we would like it to communicate, which is critical when it comes to consistency in automated interactions with ChatGPT. Now, without a good system message, there's a good chance that your responses from ChatGPT are going to vary quite dramatically from one instance to the next, which is something that you really don't want when it comes to automated interaction. Now, going back to the JSON format example, this is what our script would look like. We're not going to spend too much time going through the details here. The code is going to be linked in the description, but the part I want you to focus on is when we pass the system message here. And then now here's the rest of the code. Alright, so that's the basic one-shot prompting. By now, your queries are going to look a lot better, and your responses are going to be much better than they were if you were doing this without the system message. Now we're going to look at a more advanced technique, which is called few-shot prompting. This is a strategy you want to use when it's really important that your response from ChatGPT is consistent, because the chance of success with this strategy is higher than with just a system message alone. Now, what a few-shot prompt does is it pretends that ChatGPT has already responded. It includes that pretend response into the query, essentially making it seem like ChatGPT has already responded, and this is what the response looked like. And this is a favorable response, so please do it again. Now, here's the basic structure of what that would look like. And here's an example script to get you started. Again, we won't be spending too much time looking at the script in detail. The most important part that I want you to see here is when we set up the few-shot prompt. And if you want the full script, again, it's going to be linked in the video description below. Now there you have it. Those are the two most important concepts when it comes to working with prompts in LangChain. Now if you combine these two simple strategies together with LangChain's other module components, then you're off to the races, and you can build some really amazing things. For motivation, check out these other examples of what people are doing with LangChain. Delaf built a tool which allows you to talk to your research papers. Rio shows off an example where he takes unstructured data, for example, a conversation transcript, feeds this through LangChain to ChatGPT, and then spits out formatted resumes. And McKay was able to build RepoChat, which parses GitHub repositories, passes them through LangChain into ChatGPT, and allows you to conversate with the code. Now, if you want to see what else LangChain can do, drop your suggestion in the comments below, and I'll try my best to do a deep dive into other subjects on LangChain. Anyways, but it's amazing how these tools can empower us to achieve much greater results in the same amount of time with smaller and smaller teams. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.